When Nazi Germany collapsed at the end of World War II, the world assumed its most terrifying secrets had died with it. But hidden beneath the mountains of Poland, the forests of Germany, and the ruins of forgotten bunkers, one mystery refused to fade. A superweapon so strange, so advanced, and so dangerous that even today, scientists cannot fully explain it. They called it Die Glocke, the bell. And according to the few documents that survived, it was unlike anything the modern world had ever seen. Most super weapons of the era were brutal but understandable. Rockets, tanks, chemical weapons. But the bell didn't fit into any category. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't even designed for battle. It was something else entirely. Witnesses said it glowed with a violet light. Others claimed it produced a deadly radiation field that killed plants, animals, and even human test subjects within minutes. Some said it could distort gravity. Some believed it was a time experiment. And some feared it was meant to change the direction of the war in a way no military commander had ever imagined. But before we understand what the bell might have been, we need to understand where it was built. In the final years of the war, the Nazis constructed one of the largest underground complexes in all of Europe, deep inside the mountains of Lower Silesia. This massive project was codenamed Reese, meaning the giant. Hidden tunnels, reinforced chambers, train tracks leading nowhere, and structures so large they looked like they were meant for something more than soldiers, something bigger, something secret. Inside these mountains, according to declassified intelligence, the SS gathered Germany's most brilliant scientists, engineers, and physicists. They were ordered to create Wunderwaffe, wonder weapons, devices so advanced that they could win a losing war. But among all these weapons, only one was classified as top priority above all others. Only one was tested inside restricted underground chambers. Only one required an unusually large amount of electrical power and rare crystal materials. That device was the bell. A Polish intelligence officer named Igor Witkowski first revealed the details after gaining access to secret transcripts from an SS officer interrogation. The officer described the bell as a large metallic capsule, almost 3 meters tall, shaped exactly like a bell, with a thick ceramic coating and rotating interior cylinders filled with a mysterious violet liquid. The code name for this substance was Serum 525. Even today, no one knows exactly what it was. During tests, the device was chained with thick steel cables to a concrete structure called the hinge. This circular framework can still be seen today, standing alone in a forest, looking like part of a giant machine that no longer exists. According to the testimony, when the bell was switched on, it created powerful electromagnetic fields. Plants within 200 meters turned to ash. Animals died instantly, and several scientists involved in the early experiments suffered from nerve damage, burns, and what looked like extreme radiation sickness. Whatever the bell was doing, it was dangerous. Very dangerous. But what was its purpose? Some historians believe it was a propulsion experiment, an attempt to create a new type of aircraft that didn't rely on engines or fuel. Something that could silently lift off the ground using fields that bent gravity itself. Others suggest it was designed to manipulate time, after strange descriptions appeared in transcripts referring to distortions, visions, and experiments outside the normal flow of time. More grounded researchers think it was a powerful energy device, something the Nazis hoped would give them an unlimited power source. But all theories have one thing in common. Whatever the bell truly was, it was far beyond normal technology of the 1940s. As the war approached its end, something happened inside the mountain complex. something so serious that the SS executed more than 60 scientists connected to the project. Their bodies were buried in unmarked graves, and their research notes were destroyed or smuggled out. Days later, according to witnesses, the bell was removed from the underground chamber and transported out of Lower Silesia in the dead of night under heavy guard. Where it went next is the greatest mystery of all. Some say the bell was loaded onto a special aircraft and flown to South America, where high-ranking Nazis escaped after the war. Others believe it was placed on a U-boat and sunk intentionally to prevent it from being captured. A third theory says the Americans found it through Operation Paperclip and secretly moved it to the United States, where parts of its research continued under classified military programs. But the strangest detail comes from a 1960s report of a bell-shaped craft crashing in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Witnesses described a metallic object covered in markings similar to ancient runes, the exact type found in German prototypes. The military arrived almost instantly, sealed off the area, confiscated the object, and denied everything. To this day, the Kecksburg crash is called America's Roswell, but many historians believe it may have been something far older, something built in Europe during the final desperate days of the war. If the bell survived the war, who controls it now? Is it buried in a mine, stored in a classified hangar, or did it fail the moment the war ended, becoming nothing more than a dangerous relic? What we do know is this: the bell did not simply disappear without a trace. Too many documents, too many witnesses, and too many classified projects point towards something real, something the world was not meant to see. The Nazis poured enormous resources into it. Scientists died for it. The SS evacuated it with extreme urgency, and governments on both sides of the war later refused to release files connected to it. Hitler's most dangerous secret was not a rocket, not a tank, not a bomb. It may have been a machine capable of bending the laws of physics themselves. The truth lies somewhere beneath Europe, in tunnels still sealed, in files still classified, and in stories whispered by the few who saw something they could never explain. So the question remains: what do you believe the bell really was? A failed experiment? A lost superweapon? Or evidence of technology far beyond its time? This was Dark Europe Files. Subscribe, because the next secret hidden beneath Europe may be even darker.